Howdy peeps, and welcome back to the channel. And I'm afraid this one's going to be a noisy one. Today I am at my closest local stream or river. This is, as I've said before, this is the headwaters of the river Thet, which runs that way, and in about 20 miles there's a ford across it, hence the town getting the name Thetford. Thet Ford, as it would have been back in the day. How the river got its name, not a clue. It could be one of those Norfolkisms where it was known as Thet River, and then Thet River, you know, that kind of thing. But just so you know where the noise is, aside from the wind, right up there is the A11 dual carriageway, 70 mile an hour limit, so it's going to be noisy. Not a lot I can do about that and still film here in daytime though, unfortunately. I'll zoom us in a little, you'll be able to get a closer look at what the river itself is like. At the moment running very low and slow because we've not had a lot of rain, which means the bottom is kind of silted up, but hey, that's not a bad thing. Now I'm kind of stood here hoping to see some fish. Chances are fairly slim as I'm stood here skylined against a small bridge and they can see me if there are any down there. I have thrown in a bit of bread just to see if we can get anything to come up or come out. As I say, this is about the only place you can get to the river up this end anyway without having to wear full protective gear to get through all that, which is brambles and stinging nettles. And I've already managed to sting my leg trying to get to the other side and have a look at the other side of the bridge. But as I say, if we go further down, you can see it does clear out a bit from the reeds. And if we have a little bit of a scan around at the actual countryside around us, there's fallow field, some trees, big ass crane in the background, overhead power cables. Quite a rare thing around here. And if we look up that way, it's just a farm track. Literally this is a dead end down this end, so it's just access for the farmer. And if we look back that way, river being down there and running along. Now obviously it's appearing that we're not going to get any fish. Let me just zoom out again because I'm going to use my other hand. I'm petrified of dropping the camera straight into the river. That wouldn't be good. Don't want to do a Graham. So while we're looking at the river, we may as well think, what kind of fish could live in here? What would we find as native species in a small English river? Now this far upstream, wouldn't expect a huge amount. There will probably be minnows, possibly stickleback, 3 and 5 spined. Helps if we hold the camera straight sharp. I'm actually on the river. Possibly might be a bit too sluggish and silty for stone loach, which are kind of like our version of pecos. Possibly some gudgeon, which are also very pretty if you catch those. Just a standard British gudgeon. I don't recall the Latin name. Is it gobio? Possibly, I don't recall. The other species we might find would be roach, which is Rutulus. Maybe some rudd. If we get real lucky, we might find rudd. Scardineus erythrophthalmus. He says, trying to remember from high school when he got bored one day and learnt all these. and possibly chub. No, I can't remember chub. And it's not going to be as simple as chubbus, I'm pretty sure of that. It's going to be one of the weirder ones. That's probably about all you'd expect at this kind of size river. And once we get further down, a few little tributaries have joined up, and we'll probably, well, I know, we'll find bream, standard bronze bream, Abranus brahma, tench, tinker, otherwise known as the doctor fish. Both extremely slimy, but tench are gorgeous. Olive drab colour, little red teddy eyes, and an absolute paddle of a tail on them. They fight like demons. And again, by then we'll also have the predators who will have perch and pike. I'll say by the time it gets to Thetford and it's a full-blown river, you'll get all the native river species suitable to this kind of river. So there won't be the grayling and the trout and things like that. But it's a good healthy river, despite the fact that it's farmland either side of it most of the way down. And quite pretty. Now, again, I apologise for the noise from the wind and the trucks, and hopefully not the rain quite yet, because I've got quite a way to walk home from here. Let's have another look down and see if we can see any fishies. But I seriously doubt it. If there were any, where might they be? As a fisherman, this is where some knowledge does help. I would expect them to be hugging that bank underneath the overgrown brambles, in amongst the dense reed mats. Cover, safety, protection, food, all that. You're not likely to find them out in the open water too often, or even under the bridge. Would be another good place to hide. Now there might possibly be perch. Oh, I just saw something moving. Hello, little fishily. I wonder if the camera will pick it up. Probably not with the glare. I can figure out where we're aiming. Somewhere. You might be able to see it. If I try pointing, it will probably... Yeah, if I can get my hand in the lens. Somewhere down just around there it was. Don't know whether it's moved now. It probably has, because I've moved. Yeah, it has. That was most likely a little minnow or a baby roach. But hey, we've seen something at least. Now, I'm also surprised we've not got any birds around as well, because whether that's because the weather is closing in, windy, noisy, there's some random weird fat bloke stood here waving a camera around and waffling on, but we'd expect the normal British songbirds and magpies and crows and pigeons and doves and all that normal stuff that you probably find most in your garden. But around here we do have kingfishers. I know, because a couple of miles back up the other way, back up that way, the lake where I used to go fishing, there are kingfishers there, and they have actually sat on the end of my pole and brained a poor little gudgeon to death and then eaten it. Hey, at least it meant I knew there were fish in the peg. Even if all the little ones have just got scared off by one of their buddies being eaten. But no, so we know they're local. We do have water voles around here as well, which are a rarity now in the UK. They're actually on the endangered list. And very pretty. Kind of look like a chubbier rat with a shorter tail. But always good to see when you do see them. Quite often you do literally just see their nose sticking out of the water as they're swimming across a lake or a river. They do prefer lakes, but slow moving rivers are just as good for them. And the other thing we have around here is, to anglers, the dreaded; to nature lovers, the wonderful, the otter. Now, they've been successfully reintroduced and they are breeding, which is great, wonderful, don't get me wrong. Why am I actually pointing this blooming camera? I'm pointing at nothing in particular, am I? Oh, there's a bit of water down there, I suppose. It's just a comfortable position for my hand to rest in, so if we zoom so we can actually see the river. There we go. But yeah, in a natural environment, otters are great. If they start getting into stocked fishing lakes, they cause absolute carnage. Because if there's a glut of food, which there is in a stocked fishing lake, most of which will be carp, they don't eat the whole fish. They literally kill the fish, take the liver and leave the rest. And then when they get peckish again, they go kill another fish, take the liver. So yes, they're generally not beloved by fishery owners. So often fences go up around to keep the otters out, or other more drastic steps get taken, which are illegal, but you can understand when someone's got tens or hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of stock in their lake that they're going to protect it. Anyway, I've been waffling on long enough, so I hope this isn't going to be too bad of a video. I will watch it back before I upload it just to check it's listenable, not utterly dreary, tedious, boring. And we shall see how we go. But if you've managed to make it this far through random waffling and shots of nothing much, zoom out, finger don't bend that far. Thanks for watching, peace out, rock on. I'm going to go walk the half hour home. Have fun and bye bye.